This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social. I'm now joined by Josh Warrington, the IBF Featherweight World Champion. Josh, how are you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm all good, thank you. It's good to hear you doing well. Down here for the second day of your 3-day press tour with Carl Frampton for the announcement of your fight. How excited are you to have this opportunity to get in there with Carl?
Probably I wouldn't say that I'm excited for me to have the opportunity. I think you should be more excited to have the opportunity to get a crack at the world title. I didn't have to take the fight. You know, we could have gone for a defence against someone else, but I wanted to fight Carl. I believe I beat Carl, and he's a big name. I've got a lot of respect for him, but it's just one of them. You want to fight the best. You want to prove yourself. I've won a world title, and to finish off my year with having two of the biggest scalps in featherweight boxing, you know, Selby and Carl Frampton would just be the cherry on top of what's already been a fantastic year. So, you know, boxing fans want to see it. I want the fight, and Carl wants the fight, so it just makes sense. Let's get it on.
I think that was the point which I should have come across a lot clearer at the start, that you've decided to take on Carl, a tough opponent which you didn't actually need to for your first defence. You know, what made you decide to take on such a tough opponent in your first defence?
Like I say, I think we thought that potentially it'd be a big stadium fight, so we look at the fight for next year. But then what you've got there is when you draw fights out for too long, you know, potentially he could have two fights before then. I'll have two fights. You know, could get injuries. You know, there's a chance of fighters getting beat, and then there's fights dates clashing, so it never doesn't really happen. So I just think that, like, just get it. We're fighters. The fans want to see it. Yeah, I think the fight sometimes drawn out a little bit too long, and then you know the build. Yeah, you've got to build up over time. But for me, I feel like I can beat Carl. So, you know, Carl's already a big name. For me, in my profile, it propelled me on even further to be end of the year when I've got them two scalps. So, you know, let's just get it on now. You know, I don't think there is an easy fight at world level. Everyone wants to be where you want to be. No matter who you're fighting, they're going to give it their all. So, I've already got an idea in my head where I want to fight Carl and then have my mandatory, and then go on to go and unify and you know, I don't want it to be boxing forever. So I've got to this stage, and now it's like, let's get this big fights in, let's get the big paydays in, and go on.
I can see you holding your title very proudly, and I'm sure everyone.
Very, very proudly.
You know, what does it mean for you just to have it round your arm there?
It's funny, really. You know, it don't really reflect too much in what's gone on throughout my life and throughout my career to get here. But you know, to be crowned a world champion and to create history for Leeds and for all those who ever supported me throughout the years, it's nice. It means a lot. It means a lot. But at the same time, I don't look at it and think that's it. I feel like there's more to come, and I'm still not satisfied. I think I can win more world titles, and this is just the start of the next chapter.
Now, today, the atmosphere wasn't exactly what I think many expected it to be. Was it something that surprised you, that there wasn't a bit more of a rapturous reception, especially towards Carl?
No, because, you know, when Lee, there was a genuine hatred there. He upset my fans, he upset me, and the fans aren't going to stand for that. You know, he slagged them off. So, you know, they were going to make themselves known to him. There were a bit of a rivalry, and they just didn't take to his character. But with Carl, they can kind of relate to Carl because he's a working class hero kind of thing. He's quite close to his people, and he goes about his business by just fighting, and that's, you know, the Leeds people, as though they get a lot of bad name and a bad rep, but you know, they are just like normal folk, and they appreciate that. So, like, there'd have been a lot of respect here for Carl. He's not slagging me off on social or like that. He just said he thinks he's going to win a fight, and that's natural. He's going to say that he's going to be the best, and then vice versa. And I'm going to say that I'm the best. I think when the fight comes closer, there'll be a bit more energy, a bit more animosity. Wayne's comes round, it'll be a bit noisy. When the fight comes round, it'll be certainly noisy in Manchester. But you know, for everything else, you know, I don't think there's going to be too much. It might be different in Belfast tomorrow, but we'll see. But you know, I think they've shown the respect for Carl today.
Do you think maybe some of the stories that came out about what happened with Lee and like his team bus being like attacked. You know, do you think maybe there's just been a bit of a bad lot put on Leeds fans and on your fans, which isn't necessarily true?
Yeah, but he stoked the fire. You know, you can't behave like you're going to behave and then not expect a response. You don't come up to Leeds and start saying the atmosphere is pathetic and the Leeds fans don't scare him and stuff, because it's just going to edge him forward. And then people don't realise that when he's in the ring and he's giving them wanker signs and stuff like that, they're going to respond to that. Don't upset him like that. If you don't want them to retaliate, and then he's like the way in he never turned around and showed any respect for them. So they're going to back their run. It's been something what had been happening for a long time. And listen, I don't condone some of the stuff what happened, but at the same time, I understand like that some people will behave like that if you start the fire. So it just goes without saying. If I went to Cardiff or Wales for the build-up and I started behaving like that, then I'd expect it back. I'd expect it, and I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. And yeah, there's no place for it, but some people just don't have a limit, and it's just, if you make your bed, you lay in it.
And just to touch on that atmosphere on fight night, two very passionate fans coming together, two sets of fans I should say. How do you deal with not just that pressure, but just trying to soak in the atmosphere itself?
What are we talking about, May 19th? Or
your fans versus like Carl's fans, like the atmosphere on the night.
Yeah. Listen, I'll excited for it. I boxed. Listen, a lot of people think that I've never boxed at Leeds, but I did a lot of my fights outside Leeds up until winning my first couple of titles, and it's nice to when you've got the fans against you, but at the same time it's nice to have fans behind you. So we've got best of both worlds here, and it's going to be something special. And I think learning from last fight, being stood in the tunnel looking out to 20,000, having Kaiser Chiefs playing us and Lucas Rugby behind me, all that was like stuff that I've dreamed of and I never thought would happen, and it become reality. And I learned I was probably the most calmest I've ever been. Again, backs against Waldy, and no one expects me to go forward and beat Carl, so I'll be relaxed. There's no pressure on me. I'll just thrive.
Well, Josh, thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.
Cheers, mate.